How many people are rich? I gotta figure that has something to do with poverty.
Perhaps yes, perhaps no.
And I've currently been reading Paul Thoreau's book about the Deep South. It reminded me about this idea, written in 1847, over 150 years ago, by Almeida Garrett. It's a Portuguese writer and philosopher. I asked the political economist and the moralist if they have ever calculated the number of individuals who must be condemned to misery, overwork, demoralization, degradation, rank ignorance, overwhelming misfortune, and utter penury in order to produce one rich man.
No surprises there.
It's the way of the world.
Income inequality. It's not fair.
Would you prefer that we eradicate poor people and rich people? There's a name for that, you know. It's not called progress.
And it's not called communism or socialism.
Not what I had in mind.
Careful there, Joe. Speaking out like that could get a man in a lot of trouble.
But maybe not as much trouble as downward mobility. Heck, nobody wants to be poor. But there's this fat layer of plain folks who are living just above the poverty line who can't make ends meet. And even if they raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and that's not guaranteed, not by a long shot.
Yeah, and for those working at minimum wage, there's no guarantee of 40 hours a week anyway. And quickly doing the arithmetic, 40 hours times $15 is only $600 a week, $30,000 a year.
That's not enough to pay for housing, car, food, medical, and other necessities. And making $15 an hour is still a dream to some people. And if things go wrong, then pow, poverty.
To be honest, $30,000 is not much less than we pay social workers and some elementary school teachers. As a society, we don't value those professions nearly as much as we value engineers, or scientists, or business people.
Would you prefer that we pay social workers at the same rate as, say, anesthesiologists? They're the highest paying profession in the operating room.
More than surgeons? Well, in case you're keeping score, the averages are $42,000 for family social workers and $444,000 for anesthesiologists. That just knocks me out.
I would prefer that there be a smaller difference between those at the top and those at the bottom.
Yeah, be sure to mention that in the hospital before your next surgery, right?
Standard Joe, do you honestly believe rich people are the problem?
I watch these guys with their expensive cars, their entitlement to work at their parents' law firm, their vacations, the money they inherit.
And the money they invest to build companies, to create jobs.
To create jobs overseas, that one word.
I'll ask you again. Do you honestly believe rich people are the problem?
Let me grab this one, Standard Joe. The answer is yes, but not in the simplistic way you're asking the question. It's not the poor that set public policy or lobby for changes in laws or run the government.
Yeah, the average U.S. senator is worth over $10 million, and the average U.S. congressman is worth $7 million. They don't spend any time with poor people.
Now, these politicians spend their time with wealthy people because that's the only way they can run for office and keep their jobs and keep their power.
Power to the politicians?
They meet with their constituents and they attempt to address their concerns, but the whole system is set up to sustain itself and to support the economy, which means passing laws that support the job growth, which in turn means more powerful companies and richer people running those companies.
Which leaves the rest of us where exactly?
In the dwindling middle class, in a land by, for, and of the people, now ruled by people above the people.
Cool, considerate men. Conservative men. Some women, but mostly men.
Who understand power, and they know how to use it.
For the good of the nation and the world.